That's not my fault though.
Pretty sure it is somehow.
No, it's not though.
Pretty sure it is.
All right. She doesn't have her Five Finger Death Punch CD yet, but you have it on Spotify.
Even though it came out today and we pre-ordered it, and that's sad and wrong. I'm pretty sure that's wrong.
There's no guarantee that it would have been in Metrotown. If you'd gone to Metrotown, there's no guarantee it would have been there.
Of course it would have been there.
So, Timecop. I've been wanting Yvonne to watch Timecop with me since I met her ages ago. I had it in our wedding vows that we needed to watch Timecop.
Pretty sure it wasn't.
I can go back in time and put it in there, though.
Look.
I can go back in time and put it in there. Timecop is the only Jean-Claude Van Damme movie I really enjoy. I think it's fun. I don't think it takes itself seriously on any level. And
that's good, because it's kind of ridiculous. There were a few times I might have said, wait, what?
But it's fun, though. Like, she'd never seen it.
No.
And
I don't generally watch dorky boy movies. I'm just putting that out there.
It's not a dorky boy movie. It's a great movie.
It's a dorky boy movie. The amount of punching and kicking and most of the sound effects being see, I can do it.
That's the noises you make when you kick and punch people.
Right.
Those are kicking and punching noises.
I really want to know, though. Okay, so I don't think those were the sounds of the actors and,
right.
stand-ins. So you think they had to go in and be like, okay, we need you to make some, like,
that's what Foley's for.
Fighting sounds.
That's what Foley noises are for.
So they go in there.
The Foley people did fantastic work on this movie. To make all the splatting noises and the huh noises. And there were more huhs in this movie than in a Metallica album.
There was a lot. I know. I actually thought that.
Huh!
And there's a lot. It was kind of funny.
All I was listening was yeah, and then it would have been Metallica album.
With
face kicking.
Hit. So dorky.
It's such a great movie. Like,
and
Timecop,
the amount of just ridiculous.
Timecop is the idea is that Timecop he goes back in time to fix screw ups in the past that are created by people. So
who went back in time to screw it up?
There's time traveling. They go back in time. Yeah, they go back to the past.
Do they go back in time to fix anything that wasn't screwed up by people that went back in time?
No.
So they're only causing trouble for themselves?
They're literally time cops. They are going back to fix what people screw up. It's explained at the start of the movie where the idea is that you could go back in time and kill Hitler, but you might create a chain of events that actually make things worse.
Right.
Which anybody who's watched The Twilight Zone knows about that.
Yes.
There's an episode where she goes back in time to kill Hitler and she makes it worse.
That they go back in time, there's so many movies, and it's usually Hitler.
Yeah. Well, that's the common theme. Now, the idea of a megalomaniac billionaire running for presidency and only caring about himself is novel.
And the people giving him money. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
He's buying his way and he doesn't care about the polls. He doesn't care about what the media has to say about him. All that matters is money. So it is so completely different than anything we can think of in current modern age. And this movie came out in 1994. So nobody can say that this movie copied today or mimicked it in any way, shape, or form. It's wonderful. Senator McComb, I think, is one of the most fun characters because he revels in being evil.
He even has a face scar because evil people need face scars.
He gets a face scar because he gets a face kick from Jean-Claude Van Damme.
But evil people have scarred faces.
And that's because Jean-Claude Van Damme kicks every evil person in the face. It's how Jean-Claude Van Damme works. He'll go back in time to kick you in the face if you're evil. Because Jean-Claude Van Damme. And have I mentioned this is the only movie of his I like?
I don't know that I've ever seen like a whole movie of his.
Bloodsport's okay. Bloodsport's fine. It's kind of like an MMA style movie. Just you fight to the death.
Nope,
you fight to the death.
Horrible.
And his other movies, there's Double Trouble, where he plays twins of himself.
No, that sounds stupid.
It's really stupid. And every other movie after that just goes downhill from there.
Downhill from that, eh? Doesn't sound like it was
and
deep fried.
then it was learned that he didn't do any of the martial arts. He never did it. He was actually a trained dancer, and his career just nosedived from there. Which I think he'd get away with that today. I think in this modern day and age, I think he'd get away with it. But back then, you had Steven Seagal being crap, but at least he could fight, and Chuck Norris sucking at acting, but he could fight too. Chuck Norris can kick you in the face in the past, present, and future at the same time.
I know.
He's
way
that
too
good.
many Chuck Norris jokes.
He's that good.
We'll just leave it at that.
He's that good.
I've seen Chuck Norris before.
In person?
Yeah.
Did he kick you in the face?
He used to live in Idaho.
On purpose?
I know. Well, it's the
Is that what
middle
made
of
him so
nowhere.
angry?
It's the middle of nowhere.
So that's what made him so angry? I just remember watching the movie, I think it was Eye for an Eye, and driving my friend nuts because there was a dog in the movie, and I was obsessed with the idea that it was Benji. This movie was such a piece of crap, and I was like, this movie sucks, so I'm just going to pretend it's a Benji movie, and every time the dog's in the scene, I'm going to freak out that, yay, it's Benji. Where's Benji going to go? And he was losing his mind, yelling and screaming at me that it wasn't Benji and throwing things at me. Well, I was yelling at him that he was just jealous of Benji because Benji was so awesome.
You're such a dork.
I ruined that movie for so many people. Best sleepover ever. It was a horrible movie. This movie was great, though.
I don't know about that. But...
Timecop, I will say this. It's short on storyline. There's face kicking, and then there's face kicking, and there's time travel, and then there's face kicking, and then
just ridiculousness.
There's fire and there's ice at this place where they make microchips.
It was this miraculous, just amazing warehouse.
I headed her off because I thought, because I could see this baffled look on Yvonne's face, and I thought Yvonne doesn't know what this warehouse is for.
Yeah,
so I'm going to get ahead of this.
What in the world are they making here? They've got barrels of
oil.
They have, if you break the glass, there's freezing fog.
Well, it's liquid nitrogen.
Right.
Which freezes your entire arm in a second and a half, and you can kick that guy's arm off.
Shattered off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's a thing.
So if you haven't taken grade 9 science, that's a scene you're going to love.
Right.
Because grade 9 science, we did that with hockey balls. Take a hockey ball, put in liquid nitrogen, then smash it.
Yes.
Yeah. And apparently a person's arm does that in even less time than the hockey ball.
In the fog.
And in smaller pieces.
But not in the liquid. It wasn't even in the liquid. It was in the fog from it.
Well, it was hypercharged.
Right. There you go. Hypercharged.
It was hypercharged.
It was this
cold liquid nitrogen awesomeness.
Warehouse.
It was a fun
warehouse.
where
the rails are also super magnetic to attract all bullets.
In this movie, like if you haven't seen Timecop, count how many times that a bullet hits a railing, and it's really kind of amazing. Not even just in the warehouse, but when they're fighting at his house, they keep hitting the railings. They keep hitting the railings, and it's like, a railing is like this thin, and a guy is person thin.
But
so it's easier
really
to hit a person.
People.
Oh, they're terrible at hitting people.
Like at the beginning, when he was back in the 30s, 40s.
Yep.
And he had that gun that was hitting big chunks of wall. He was really good at not hitting anybody. Because
Jean-Claude could jump out of the way.
But there was all the other people.
Jean-Claude could outjump the bullet.
There was all the ladies screaming, and he missed all of them.
Well, because you can't hit ladies.
Right.
But you can try to hit Jean-Claude Van Damme, but he's doing his shoulder rolls. So you can't hit him while he's doing a shoulder roll.
Right, of course. But
it's amazing.
Do a taser to the floor and get electrocuted.
The other thing with this, if you're a fan of 80s movies, Mia Sara plays the wife in it. She was Ferris Bueller's girlfriend in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You get to see a lot more of Mia Sara in this movie than you saw of her in Ferris Bueller's.
He means she's naked.
Which when I saw this 24 years ago, before we met, I thought was kind of a fun feature.
I'm sure you did.
I remember thinking, wow, I don't remember seeing that in Ferris Bueller's. So that was a benefit.
You're such a boy.
And then there's the weird 3D the sex part with the machine. I'm not sure why Ricky's doing that with other people around.
At work?
Like, I mean, I know it's supposed to be the year 2004, where VR is the thing and you could just have sex with your computer. But the idea that you're going to do that at work does seem a little off-putting.
It was really weird.
I don't think that I would do that at work. Under any circumstances, for any reason. Now, I don't know if you would do that at work. I can't speak for you. I know you and I have different ways of living our lives, and I make no judgments. But, you know, I don't know what you do when I'm not here. I have no idea.
You're always here.
Yeah, I know.
What are you talking about?
But, you know, when I'm up before you are, when, you know, I'm down here doing a video and you're upstairs, I don't know what's going on. There could be some VR happiness going on. I don't know. I have no idea.
Whatever.
Because we're way past 2004, and if they were doing that in 2004 at work, by 2018, it's a free-for-all.
Right.
So,
right.
I like how there's one point where he goes back in time, and he comes back, and Ricky's become Richard, and he's now all suited up, and he's got, like, the ponytail, and he's all fancy, and I'm thinking, why would he have been affected? Why would he have changed?
I think it's weird that when they go back to their normal time, so they go back in time, and they go back to the normal time, when things change, everybody's like, well, why don't you remember this? Are you okay? They just went back in time.
And changed it.
For the intention of changing something.
Yeah, they went back 10 years.
And you're surprised that things have changed?
The part that throws me off is this. So, and I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. There's the one part where his boss has that reaction. I'm thinking, don't you remember what you sent him back for?
See, and that was...
Why would you have sent him back to the past?
But my thought was...
If you don't remember why he's asking you these questions, do you remember why you sent him back?
I had that thought of, do you remember that he was supposed to be gone for a reason? Or does that get altered too? Or...
So, do they just, every time a pod comes back, you just take them at their word?
Right,
alright, Lincoln's still alive. Okie dokie.
But then you don't act stupid when... What? This has changed?
You'd think they'd have a better tracking system.
Maybe you're senile.
Yeah, you'd think they'd have a better tracking system.
Yeah, there was some weirdness. Yeah, I made comments about why...
But for me...
That's what they do!
For me, Jean-Claude Van Damme kicks his way to an 8.5 in this. I'd give it a 7.5, but all the face kicking moves it up to 8.5.
Seriously?
Oh, absolutely.
You're such a boy.
There's the part with the taser. That's so much fun.
So ridiculous.
That's so much fun with the taser.
You could tase the floor to electrocute yourself.
It's just awesome.
And
it wasn't even on the same angle.
Did it stick in the tile?
Yeah.
What would it do to your body if it just dink in the tiles through your body? Just fink.
It's amazing. So, scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this movie?
Probably a 5.
Really?
Yeah.
But it has face kicking.
I'm not.
And boobs.
They were weird looking boobs.
And Jean-Claude's butt.
That's nice. But the...
Nah, isn't it? Hey? He was on Broadway, you know.
The boobs were weird looking. They were weird looking boobs.
We'll have to go back and look again.
I don't
I'll have to look again.
go into describing on this, but they were kind of odd-looking boobs.
I'll have to go take another look just for the sake of science. But yeah, this was a really good movie, and I like. It really
wasn't.
I like how it's sort of the ending. It sort of ends where it starts, and there's a nice little bit in there where you're like, oh. And then you understand the start of the movie. Because the start of the movie, you go, wait, what the hell just happened?
Yes, I did actually.
And then...
why?
And then it's a movie, and you're like, wait, do we go back to... No, all right. And then at the end, you find out why what happened at the start happened at the start. And Ron Silver is a fantastic bad guy. Ron Silver's just, as Senator McComb, he is amazing and perfect. And I really hope we never end up with a president that's just concerned with money and himself. That would be awful. So, there you go. Hearty recommendation from me. Hearty recommendation from her as well. She could see there were some definite girly moments in this. This has a lot of sensitive moments in it. It's a very emotional movie that takes you on this roller coaster ride. Tearful conclusion. And it's really kind of fantastic.
I think we watched different movies.
There was face kicking in mine.
There was face kicking. And freezing and shattering of arms.
Those are the awesome parts.
And half of the torso. It wasn't just the arm, it was half the torso. And it was like all shards.
Yeah, because you turn into shards.
But the rest of him was fine.
You turn into shards.
It was just this part is shattered.
Yeah,
and
that's what happens.
It looked kind of like a geode.
Yeah.
Through half of his torso.
Yeah, because geodes do that. See, geodes are made of materials and minerals, and so are people. You can turn a person into a geode.
No.
Yes. There's your science lesson for today from the entertainment guy.
It's not a thing.
People can be turned into geodes.
It's not a thing.
It happens.
Only in Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
He kicks people so hard they turn into a geode.
Right.
It's amazing.
Right.
So, yeah, you need to watch it.
That was weird. And there were people
if you haven't
on
seen
fire.
it, you need to watch it. People are on fire. People are on fire because Jean-Claude Van Damme's awesome.
Fire people.
That's right. That's right.
It was weird.
That's right. He's hot and cool at the same time. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Keep kicking.
Right.
Amazing movie. Fantastic. You'll watch it many times and you'll want to watch it with your friends.
It's a dorky boy movie.
It's not a boy movie.
Oh, it's a boy movie.
It's very sensitive.
And when was this movie made?
1994.
I was going to say, because it seemed more like an 80s movie with the amount of boobs in it.
There's only one set of boobs in it.
No, there's two.
Oh, yeah, right, the VR girl.
Yeah.
I just forget all about her because she's not real.
She looked pretty darn real. Looked like a girl with boobs. Again, odd look. Her boobs were shaped weird, but you know.
I don't judge.
I guess they come in all different
Yvonne
sizes
judges.
and shapes.
I don't judge.
I'm allowed to.
I am very welcoming and very accepting.
You're a dork.
Of various people.
Uh-huh.
And their shapes and their sizes and their wonderments.
I'm sure you are.
Yes. So we both recommend this movie. It's a good show. Timecop.
You can tell by the name of the movie how awesome it's gonna be.
It's Timecop.
You
have time and cop.
You're thinking, I bet that's amazing.
It is. It's Timecop. It is amazing.
It's as good as it sounds like it's gonna be.
The only thing that throws me off, and if you haven't seen it, watch it, and watch it with one thing in mind. Jean-Claude Van Damme, when he's playing his past self from 1994, sucks. Jean-Claude Van Damme, when he plays his future self from 2004, pretty good actor. And I don't understand it because he's playing the same role in both parts, and he can play himself in the present, which is the future, well, and he can't play himself in the present / the past well at all. That's the only thing that throws me off. Because there's a line where it's like, oh, I have something to tell you, and he has a reaction of, eh. And I was like, you'd have more of a reaction than that. You know, but the future him is like just really feeling and really intense. And the old him is just more of Keanu. Whatever. What's up? I know Kung Fu. Yeah, that's it. So there you go. Watch Timecop. Enjoy Timecop. You'll look as happy as she does. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through and you enjoy Timecop as well. And we'll talk to you again soon.